Hi friends! We have been really missing all of you guys who are at home, and I hope that we get to see you soon. But until then, I wanted to send another little story time for you. I brought something else, and I thought maybe before we start our book that we could sing a little song together. I want to sing a song that has all of those letters that we know. Anybody know what song that I want to sing? You probably have a good idea. It's the ABCs. Let's take our big breath. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Yay, nice job, guys. I sure miss singing with you guys. Then I have a book here. Maybe you recognize this character on the front cover. Who is that? You got it. It's the Cat in the Hat, and he's here to help us learn a little bit about plants. It's called Oh Say Can You Seed? It's all about flowering plants. The words were written by Bonnie Worth, and all these beautiful pictures were illustrated by Aristides Ruiz. Then, if I open it up, I can find all of that information again on the title page. The title is Oh Say Can You Seed? It's by Bonnie Worth, illustrated by Aristides Ruiz. And then I have the publisher down here, Random House in New York. That's who put it together. All very hard workers. I'm the Cat in the Hat, and I think that you need to come take a look at this thing called a seed. From the giant gum tree to the very small weed, every flowering plant started out as a seed. Plants are so useful to me and to you. Can you think of a way? I will name you a few. Okay, so we get to find out what all those seeds can do. The paper for books, just like this one, and the cloth on your pants, came from trees and from cotton. That's two kinds of plants. The grains and the fruits and the veggies you eat, why, they come from plants too. And here's something neat. In deserts and woods and in rainforests thick, grow plants that can make you feel well when you're sick. That's how we get medicine sometimes, is from plants. Yes, plants serve us well. They fill so many needs. And flowering plants, they all started as seeds. Seeds seem really important. Just what is a seed? You're wondering, maybe. Well, you might say a seed is a tiny plant baby. The best way for you to see just what I mean is to take a close look at this seed called a bean. Like all seeds, a bean comes in 3 basic parts. Thing 1 and thing 2, bring on the charts. Okay, here comes thing 1 and thing 2 so we can learn more about seeds. Part 1 is the first that I think you should know, and that part's the baby. It's called embryo. To sprout, it needs food, just like you and I do, which brings us to seed part numero 2. It's called cotyledon. Say, isn't that fun? This bean seed has 2, but some others have 1. Last comes the third part that I think you should know. It's the coat. It protects our cute bean embryo. So that seed has a coat on the outside, kind of like how you wear a coat to protect you when you go outside. A bean seed comes with a coat protecting its insides. To sprout a bean seed, keep it moist, but not wet. That means it doesn't need a puddle of water, just a little bit of water. Keep it covered with dirt, and then see what you get. In 7 or so days comes the part that I love, when a root spreads below and a stem shoots above. Can you see that root growing down into the dirt and that stem growing up? That's the beginning of the plant. Now, in order to show a grown bean plant to you, we've traveled in time for some months, maybe 2. So here we got parts of a plant. We got flowers, a stem, there are leaves, and those flowers are going to turn into the fruit, or in this case, the vegetable. Then underneath, remember what those parts were called? They're the roots. Thing 2 calls the part above ground the shoot system, and thing 1 calls the part underground the root system. So 2 different main parts of those plants. To get a good look at the roots underground, it's better to make like a mole, I have found. Roots are not pretty, they're twisty and hairy, and some roots might look even a little bit scary. Roots anchor the plant and help it stand true. Roots suck up the water and minerals too. That sounds really important. If it didn't have roots, how would they stay where they are? And roots keep the soil from just washing away. That's pretty important, wouldn't you say? I think it sounds pretty important. We've talked about roots and we've learned all about them, and now it's time we moved on to the... What's this part of the plant? Does anybody remember what that was called? If you said stem, you got it. The stem is a pipe through which water shoots up. It's absorbed from the soil and passed up through the roots. It shoots through the plant, and then next, as you'll see, the leaves each turn into a food factory. And just like a rhino is protected with horns, the stem of a rose is protected by thorns. So sometimes other things besides leaves can grow on those stems too. Leaves come in all shapes and sizes, I've found, and some small and some spiky, some big, some round. But the thing that all leaves have in common is this: they make their own food from photosynthesis. That was a big word. I think I'm going to say it again. Photosynthesis. I'll say this quite loudly. I don't mean to be rude. Plants are the only living things on Earth that can make their own food. To do this, plants need water, minerals, and sun. And that's why the daytime is when food making is done. For your information and also for fun, hop in my shrink upper. Let's see how it's done. Oh, we get to go on an imaginary ride in his shrink upper. Ready? Buckle in. Let's go for a ride. The leaf takes in CO2, that's carbon dioxide, through a stoma or pore. It works like a mouth, and that's what it's for. Okay, we're going to use our mouth. Take a big breath in. Now blow it out. So when you blow out, you just blew out some of that CO2, and that's what that leaf is needing. Then the air gets mixed up with the water and sun, and that's how the food-making factories run. Then that plant is using that energy, and it's going to make oxygen. And so when you take a breath, you breathe in the oxygen made by the plants. So we work together with the plants, kind of like we work together with our friends at school. I see by my clock, and now it's the hour to drop in and say hello to the flower. Okay, let's go on and find those flowers now. Thing 2 has a chart. He will share it with you. It shows where the parts of a flower all do. In the pistil are ovules. They're unfertilized seeds. The stamen holds pollen, which an ovule needs. An unfertilized ovule, let's see where it is, right inside here. An unfertilized ovule will not ever grow. And pollen's the stuff that will fix that, you know? A flower's own pollen or another's okay. And that's where those bees play a role, by the way. You know, bees are really important. Let's see how they help flowers grow. To make honey, bees need to get nectar from flowers. They fly and they gather that sweet stuff for hours. The pollen sticks on their bodies and legs, and it falls off sometimes, and sometimes it reaches those eggs. That's how more flowers are made. An ovule that's fertilized becomes a seed. Around it grows fruit upon which we feed. And so fruit can be fruit or vegetables or grains. When we say fruit, you know what that means? It means olives, nuts, grains, plantains, tangerines, and apples and oranges and pineapple too. All kinds of plant foods are healthy for you. Look at all those different kinds of plants that we can eat. Some fruits are juicy and mincy to munch on. Dry ones like nuts are nice just to crunch on. Not all plants with seeds give us edible fruit. Some plants have seeds that look weird or look cute. Burr seeds are hitchhikers. They ride on your clothes. And dandelion seeds sometimes fly up your nose. Some seeds come in pods that explode like a sneeze. Other seeds have wings and they can fly on the breeze. You might remember that we have trees like this at our school. Sometimes in the fall or in the early summer, we can find those seeds pods that fly down and spin like a helicopter. Sometimes we call them helicopter seeds, but they're from the maple tree. But whether they stick or they blow or they fly, seeds bring us life. And now you know why. I see the sun setting, and here comes the moon. Your mother is calling, and dinner is soon. I hope you have learned from my little seed talk. And now I will climb up this giant beanstalk. There he goes. That beanstalk's a very big plant. The end. That was Oh Say Can You Seed? I hope you guys are all doing well. Hopefully see you soon.